Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
So, Camille.
Yep.
Today we are going to talk about the F word.
The F word, yeah.
But we will keep it decent.
We'll keep it. We'll try our best. Yeah.
So I love to talk about successful entrepreneurs.
Right.
Especially those entrepreneurs that are open about their failures.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Jack Ma, for example, you know him?
Yes, I do.
The how much would he make at this moment? Like millions or billions?
there'd be more zeros attached to his name than I think we could ever. Yeah.
Well, he is the founder of Alibaba.
Yeah.
And I always you have to YouTube him. He has all these amazing stories that he didn't even get. He failed so often. He didn't even get in to work at KFC.
Yeah, he didn't. That's right. Yeah, he didn't.
It was so.
They turned him down.
They turned him down, and look at him now. And you know what he said that his two main ingredients were how you succeed. He's like, okay, you should always hire people that are smarter than you.
Yes.
And focus on getting them to work together.
Yes. Yeah, collaboration. Collaboration's really important with him. He's mentioned it before, actually. Yeah.
So today we are going to be really open about this.
We are. I think it's important to be open to talk about the F word.
It is.
Because it's part of all of us. It happens to all of us. It will continue to happen to all of us. It happens in different parts of our lives.
Yeah.
But it's important to address it.
Yeah. And why we want to address it, because the Genius Link, we work with a lot of different people that just start their business, or people that want to improve their business, don't have time, or really need to have the expertise.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here. We're just we're giving you this information so you can be so it will be helpful for your business. We
Absolutely.
have a team of experts that can help you build your business. So that's why we're talking about this today.
Yes.
Learned so much from our failures.
Right.
But why do we still think it's a bad thing?
I think actually, well, that's for me. I think that's a pretty easy one to answer, because if you think about. If we go as far back as our elementary school days, our kindergarten days from education, the word fail is quite. If I look back on some of my if I go and I dig up in the old archives of my mom's house and look at old report cards as a child, that word fail is there. Pass or fail. Yeah. Pass or fail.
Yeah.
So I think from a very, very early age we are introduced to the word of failure, which I think it's healthy to be introduced to the experience of failure. But I think when you're a child and the word failure is never ever connected with something positive.
Yeah.
So if you think about the word failure and experiencing failure from a child, growing into adolescence, then growing into adulthood, it's no wonder why people develop a sense of fear over failure, because it has never ever been seen as something positive. I don't, what you think about that's where I think it comes from.
I totally agree. We learn at an early age that failure is something you don't want to do.
No.
You get punished when you
get punished for failure.
You get punished for failure.
You don't bring a bad report card home. Oh, you could have gotten an A rather than a B. Little things along the line of failure, and I think that there's never a positive follow-up with failure.
But I agree, because that is also a good thing, because it does challenge you to be better.
Yes, it does.
So it's kind of hard to get that right combination, but it's nice to talk about it today.
Yes. We're going to talk about it for sure.
So a lot of times, when you fail in your business, people get stuck. Why does failing stop us from moving?
It stops us from moving because when we experience failure, it depending on the magnitude of failure, whether it's failure in business, failure in relationships, failure at an exam, whatever and however it comes at us, it can be very traumatic. And trauma has a different range, several ranges. It could really impact you, or it could sort of have a minimal impact, or it could have a really severe impact.
Yeah.
And when people experience failure, that then turns to fear. It's like touching a hot stove. You can touch a hot stove and you think, oh, that hurts, and you may never touch it again.
Yeah.
Or you may think, oh, it's a cooler now, or do I have to put gloves on to touch it again? But it does come with a sense of apprehension, and failure creates a sense of apprehension. It creates fear in many people, so that you have to have a coping mechanism, and you also have to figure out a way to embrace the failure. But if you're not conditioned to that, then it can really, really have an adverse effect on you, especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So have you ever, let's just get personal.
Okay, how personal?
Have you ever experienced this?
I have experienced. I've experienced failure several times. I'm very open to talking about my life and the things. I think in order for me to help people with their life, I need to be able to share insights into mine. I think from a sporting point of view, from injuries, that definitely failure. Or even thinking when you are at the top of your game and you go to compete and you've been shown very quickly that you're not at the top of your game today, by loss, and that failure, and how to deal with that,
how to cope with it,
cope with it in the workplace, going for promotions. Not getting a job, for example, and thinking that you nailed that interview, and you walked out of there thinking that I've had it all. I've done it. I've been there in that position where I thought, this is mine. And it didn't happen. So even with starting the business, you learn things along the way, and you do fail. But I have learned over the years to embrace it, and that's where I am. That's where I got where I am today, because I've embraced failure.
That's what we have to do.
That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. Yes. Because you have a choice when failure comes. Really, you can either accept it for what it is and learn from it, or accept it and just don't learn anything and then stay in the corner and never do it again and
be miserable. Because sometimes that actually does happen.
Yes, it does.
When you just fail and it's not like you don't want to move on, but maybe that you're scared to do it again, maybe to take that second step again. Yes.
Okay, if you think about big businesses that we all know, it can be banks, it can be airlines, it can be anything. And quite often they'll try something new, whether it's a new product or a new service, whatever it may be, and it might fail. But if you realize the ones who are really successful are the ones who go back to the drawing board, they take the learnings from that failure, they see what went well, it's not all bad, what went well, what didn't go so well, they go back to the drawing board, they rejig a few things, they go at it again, and they come back again. And then that's how you do it. You don't just take the first sort of knock back and think, look at actors. Actors, if there's a group of people in our world who are really great at handling failure, it would be actors, because every week they go into auditions and they're told no. They're told no, and most of the time they're not even told why. It's just a no. So they can quite often feel that they have failed at something, but you learn coping mechanisms. You learn how to challenge yourself and to become even better the next time you go after a role like that. So
I also say that to my coachees. Well, when I start with with coaching somebody, we start with writing down the business canvas, and actually that also always changes. Yes, because you learn, you improve. Your idea might not be interested the first time, but by learning from your client, from your customers or your future customers, it will bring you, oh my god, sometimes you just make 10 business canvases, 20 business canvases until you get it right, but you have to push through. So totally agree with that. Let's go to the second question, the third question. I think we're already on the third question, people. So how can we perceive failure as something positive?
That's a good question. And actually it's a very clear answer for that.
Okay.
The trick to perceiving failure as something positive is remember something. Failure exposes our areas of weakness.
Okay.
In order for you to be stronger at something and better at something, more successful at something, you have to know your areas that you need to improve on. You must know your areas that are weaker than the others. And what failure does is it highlights those areas that you need to improve on. It also highlights areas that you do well in.
Yeah.
But it clearly highlights areas that you have to improve on. And if anything, I think that's a gift. Because I would be concerned if every single thing I did, I always won. I always did great. I never failed. I would be concerned because I would be thinking, at what point in time is something really going to give here?
Yeah.
And
I can totally understand.
So I think failure really exposes the areas that we have to work on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's a nice way to perceive failure.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
It is. If you know, whether it's in sports or in work or in career, anything at all, it does expose us. It's sort of the spotlight.
Yeah.
Becomes very bright as a focal point, and then you can think, ooh, this is something that perhaps I never saw.
Yeah.
This is an area I never realized I had to improve.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And you can always, like, if you don't like to do it yourself, you can hire somebody or find somebody
the help,
to do
enlist
it.
The support. Yes.
Yes. Because can we do that table? Like, I always like when you talk about like putting the right people on your dinner table.
Because
can we please share that?
Of course. Because if you failed at something and you think, oh, I need to enlist the help and support from other people, then you need to think about the people who are at your dinner table.
Yeah.
You need to think about who is at your dinner table, not your dinner party in life, but your dinner table, because those people are the ones who are going to support you and help you and coach and mentor and push, whatever words you want to use, to get to the next stage and the next phase.
I absolutely love that metaphor.
Yeah.
Remember that one.
Yeah,
like, that one is so helpful. Even if you think like, oh, I don't have the money to hire people, there's always somebody in your network.
Always someone in your network.
That you can just sit down with, give him a cup of coffee or anything, and I will bet you that person will help you.
Yeah.
Why is it important to accept that failure will come?
Because it does. It's a very simple answer, folks.
Simple answer,
because it does. You know, if you don't accept that failure is going to come, then I really would question what your thought process is. I would, because I failure is going to come. Now, how you handle that failure is all down to you and your mindset and the preparation for failure.
Yeah.
Failure is going to come. You ask any project manager that. You ask any project manager. I know a very good project manager, and we've talked about that before. Failure comes when they are preparing for a project and they're preparing to unroll roll something out. They know, they've already done a SWOT analysis. You know, your strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. They know things are going to happen. So you have to prepare and accept that anything you do, there's going to be an opportunity for failure. But like I mentioned before, that is going to be an opportunity for you to think about what you need to do better.
Yeah. Hey, so Camille, I have 2 questions.
Oh.
From people that are watching.
Hello.
Hello. First question was from Saskia from Amsterdam. Yes. Hometown. I am contemplating if I should start my own business.
Okay.
My husband thinks, since we have 2 kids, that I would not have enough time to really build the business.
Okay.
Also, he thinks because of the competition in the market, I should not bother.
Okay.
It would never work, he said. This brought me down.
Okay.
How can I make him see that there's no reason for him to be scared? Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a few things there. Number one, I respect and understand the issues around the partnership and the concerns that your husband may have, because it's important to share these things with your partner and get their insight. Now, that's where it ends. The main part of my answer is this: who is this about, you or your husband? And in that question that you posed to us there, a lot of that question is about your husband. He's contemplating. He says this. He said it's not good enough. The marketplace. He. This is about you. This is your dream, your vision, your focus. This is about you. This is not about your husband. This is and if that comes across quite harsh, it has to be, because those who know me as their coach know that I'm not here to be a cotton ball.
No.
You know, I have to give some clear messages, and sometimes we have to hear messages that we may not necessarily feel comfortable with.
Okay.
So the reason why I'm saying it like this is because I hear this so many times when people come to me, and it's about what other people think. And this is what we talk about the dinner table. You know, I appreciate that your husband may have his concerns, and that's fine, that's lovely. Then perhaps you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your career and your dreams, to sit down and surround the people around you who are like-minded and who perhaps can push you. I don't think for one moment that he has a negative sort of
Absolutely.
it's coming from a place of concern. However, what you need right now is to think about your support system. You need to think about what it is you want to do. How badly do you want to do this? Is this some sort of thing you had that came to you in a dream one night? You thought, oh, I'd like to try that? Or is this actually something that's been burning for a long time that you want to do? So my advice would be to remain focused. Sometimes you have to keep things to yourself when you're trying to become an entrepreneur, and sometimes those closest to us are the ones perhaps that may not be the biggest fan or support. They may come across pessimistic. Not that they don't love you, but they're coming across pessimistic. So you're going to have to think about other avenues to use to surround yourself with the right people and the right energy to start putting your thoughts forward. Because if you don't, it will end up being one of those situations where you just listen to the pessimistic side of other people, and you'll never ever fulfill that dream that you want to do.
Well, thank you, Saskia. Thank you for sending me your question. I hope this was helpful. I know it was. So, hey, and I have another question from. Let me see. Mark.
Yes.
From Perth. His message was quite long, so I had to make it a little bit like shorter.
Mark.
But Mark, he started out super strong. He said he created this amazing health shakes. He sold them online. He started hiring people, but they kept on walking through the door. So they just didn't stay.
His employees didn't stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he doesn't know what to do about it. He's stuck, and he wants to take his business to the next level, but it's just not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably have a few questions for him. So maybe if you want to contact me, Mark, you can get the details obviously through Sharon.
Absolutely.
Because I'd probably have a few follow-up questions regarding that. What I would say for now is if you have a business and people keep on leaving, I would be inclined to introduce exit interviews. You need to start having, when people are leaving your business, you need to sit down with them and have a very clear conversation as to why are they leaving, and not just why they're leaving, why have they not stayed?
Okay.
What have they enjoyed, what have they not enjoyed? Because until you collect data, you won't know exactly what the issues are that are forcing people to leave. It could be a salary. It could be they're just not happy there. It may be something you're doing or not doing. You never know. But the only way to do that is to gather the feedback and gather the data to find out what is it about the business that people are just not staying. Yeah. It could also be that you've got really, really good people and they're being poached and headhunted. It happens sometimes in business. But the only way you're going to know that is if you find out what their reasons are for not staying. Yeah. I think that's a good answer. Yeah. Mark, I will send you the details of Camille, and we can link in the line and have a chat and a bit more further chat about that. Because when someone says that to me, I start thinking about 1,000 different questions. Yeah. Definitely. Hey, so thank you everybody. Thank you. We came to the end. Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, it's good to see you again. It was also nice to see you. So keep on watching. We're gonna do a little bit more videos. Yes. I'm probably also gonna post if you have like a subject that you want to talk about. Just send it to me, and
your subject might be next.
Exactly. Have a wonderful afternoon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.